Hi. Okay. Wow. So that video that I made below was 2 years ago, and I fear a lot has changed since then, and I can't really come back on here and start yapping without an update because life is so much different. Everything is so much different, so I feel like I owe at least an update before I get into all the shenanigans that I am going to be getting into on here. So hi, hello, my name is Ashley, if you're new here. If not, you know who I am. The video I made 2 years ago, I had full intentions of posting, I really did. Then life happened and I lost whatever purpose I wanted for content, and I wasn't really sure what I wanted to do on YouTube because, you know, I post on Instagram, I post on TikTok, and I post a lot of rave content, but I was like, I just don't really know if that's something that I want to bring to YouTube, but I have finally honed in on what I want to do here. But before I speak about that, let me just give you a little bit of a life update since that was 2 years ago. The first and most obvious one is obviously my hair is not blue anymore. It is more of a red color, which is super fun and I love. I obviously do not live in that apartment anymore. I made the decision to move back in with my parents because I'm trying to get myself financially just with it. You know, student loan debt is crushing me and I just really don't want to have to worry about that anymore. So here I am, back home with my parents, and honestly, it's been a great experience, so I can't even be mad about it. I feel like around the time that I posted that video, I was either going through a breakup or was about to go through a breakup. I can't remember. I am actively single, and I have been actively single for probably over a year now, and I have actually sworn off men just because I have a lot going on in my life personally and I just don't have time for it. I don't. The last relationship I was in, I was cheated on, and it was just a lot. It was a lot, and I'm tired of going through that. That is not the first time I've ever been cheated on. It probably won't be the last time, or maybe it will if I just never date another man again. But point is, I am single, and I am happy, and I'm thriving. I'm doing all the things that I want to do, which makes me really happy. I'm still creating content on my other channels. Most of the stuff, like I said, is raving. I still go to raves. I've been to many raves in the last 2 years. Most recently, I just got the opportunity to work with AEG Presents, and I got to go to Electric Forest, and I got to film content there, do my thing, have fun, which was, you know, it was a lot of fun for me, but it was exhausting because I also just had hernia surgery 2 months ago. So that's another thing. Coming home, living with my parents, I knew I had some health things I needed to take care of, and I found out about 3 months ago that I had a hernia above my belly button, and I had to get a surgery done for that, and I had to get that hernia removed because if it wasn't removed, it was going to cause problems for me later on in life. And I am like, you know what? I don't want that. I don't want to have problems because it was already causing complications. So got the hernia out. Say goodbye to the, you know, experiment 626 is what I called it. It's been a very rough process. I'm not going to lie. I'm still in the healing process. I definitely don't think I asked enough questions when it came to it because they told me that I could go back to work in 2 weeks. I didn't go back to work for a month. And I'm still in the healing process. Apparently, when you get mesh in your stomach, which is what they put in there to prevent any further hernias, it takes a long time for it to kind of like develop into your body. So I'm still in that 12-week recovery period. Obviously doing a lot better now. Before, I couldn't even walk. I had to have my mom help me with a lot of things. I had to walk with a walker, like a little old lady. It was crazy. It was so crazy. But obviously doing a lot better now. I can walk around. I can back to work. You know, I'm going to, you know, I just went to Electric Forest, even though it was a lot of work. Like, and I was tired and sore after it. So I'm on the mend for sure. But I will say, if you're an athlete, get your stomach checked out because I did competitive cheer for 13 years, and that is the reason that I had my hernia. It's from the stress, it's from the workouts on my stomach and stuff like that. So they said that's probably why I had it. They said a lot of athletes have it, a lot of bodybuilders, etc. So if you have like a weird bump above your belly button, go get that checked out because it could be a hernia, and hernias are not good for you. But like I said, you know, I got to go to Electric Forest, got to do my content. That was a lot of fun. And I've just been hanging now, just hanging out, doing my thing. You know, I still love going to Disney. I still love going to the beach. I love exploring, going to cute little coffee shops. I love wine boxes, all the stuff. So still very much the same person, sort of, that I was 2 years ago. But also, I just had my 30th birthday on Monday, so that's super cool. I'm now 30, which is crazy. I've definitely had a very interesting relationship with turning 30 because I was like, man, I do not want to be out of my 20s. I've been in my 20s for so long. Like, it's just uncomfortable. I'm like, I don't want to go into a new era. But after turning 30, I'm just like, I'm kind of excited to be here because while my 20s were a lot, and there were a lot of great things that happened to me and a lot of bad things happened to me and a lot of learning that needed to like happen, I'm kind of glad to be out of that because it was kind of a dumpster fire, not even gonna lie. So I'm really excited to be into a new era of me. I feel good. I feel like I don't really look 30, which is great. And I'm really excited. I'm super excited to see like what this, 30 to 39 brings me. Obviously I just turned 30, so I'm like a fresh baby 30, but I'm really excited to see what the adventure brings. I do have a lot of friends who are in their 30s and they're like, life just gets so much better in your 30s. So I'm really hoping for that. I also had another surgery last year. I got one of my wisdom teeth taken out. I have not gotten all of them out yet, just one of them, because I ended up getting some type of infection at the wisdom tooth because it like broke through the skin. It was like this whole thing. That was very dramatic. Awful. It was awful. I decided to get the wisdom tooth taken out via just like numbing cream instead of like the anesthesia. I'm telling you right now, if you're queasy or you pass out easily, do not do that, because I literally watched them take the tooth out. Like, it literally flew over my head. And I was so stiff the whole entire time. And once it was done, I relaxed and then I passed out. And then I woke up and then I was vomiting everywhere. It was disgusting. It was awful. I had to go to the hospital because every time that happens to me, I cannot get dehydrated for the life of me and I have to go back to the hospital to get hydrated. It was terrible. So definitely don't recommend, especially if you pass out easy and you don't like seeing that type of, like, your tooth fly out of your mouth and over your face. Just get the anesthesia. Okay, so now that I've updated you and caught you up on all things me, I wanted to lastly talk about kind of what I am thinking about making my YouTube channel about, what I'm going to be talking about in here, etc., etc. I definitely will be posting things that I like still, like going to theme parks or going to festivals or tips and tricks on, content creation, stuff like that. But I do really think that I want to dive into like more of like the mental health side and experiences that I've had. I do have my bachelor's in psychology. I don't really use it for anything right now because I just don't want to go to extra school and, it's expensive. So I've always been interested in like why people do what they do, the thought process behind it, just everything that has to do with people psychologically, I love. I also feel like I have been through so many experiences in my life already, only at 30, that it almost feels like an obligation for me to tell you guys about some of the things I've gone through and why I think these things happened, how I reacted to them, how I live with them every day, etc., etc. I was thinking and I was like, I want to still bring on the stuff that I do on my other social medias, but I also want YouTube to be kind of a standalone thing and not just be about the same stuff that I'm always posting about. And I do post about mental health things kind of on TikTok every once in a while, not so much on Instagram, but I feel like this is a good hub because this is a very good, like, yappy place to go, right? So that is what my goal is going to be for this channel. I definitely want to dive into some of the experiences that I've had, situations that's happened with people, things that have happened to me, how I've dealt with it, my opinions, my thoughts on things, and maybe it'll help someone out. Maybe no one will see it, and that's okay. I'm not really here to, get a ton of views and go viral. Like, I'm just truly here to help someone, and even if just like 1 or 2 people see my video and it helps them, that makes me feel good. Like, my family and my friends are always like, oh my god, like, you should write a book. Like, it's crazy, like, all the things that you've gone through. It's really crazy that you've had all these experiences with people and like yada yada yada. And I got to thinking about that and I'm like, you know what, like, I think it's good to talk about the things that have happened to you. I don't think there's anything wrong with it. I think that if people treat you badly and then they get mad about it because you talk about it, that's a them problem and not a you problem. And I'm definitely very tired of sitting back and letting things happen to me and not explain about things that are happening to me and how I'm reacting to it, how I feel about it, or my opinions on the matter. So I'm just gonna not do that anymore, and I'm gonna start talking about the things that happen to me and how I deal with them, how I handle them. So I'm really excited to start that with you guys. I'm not going to start now because I don't want to make this video like uber long, but the next video that I post will be my first video about an experience that actually happened to me recently and my thoughts and opinions on it and how I've been dealing with it and handling it, and just kind of like what my growth process has been versus like if this experience would have happened to me when I was 20 versus now. I'm really excited. Thank you for being here. Definitely stay tuned for all of the things that I have planned. If you ever have any questions or you ever want to see a specific video from me, please let me know. in the comments. And yeah, you'll be seeing a lot more of me. So until next time, bye.